So welcome to Challenge the Road, lots to talk through. I'm going to talk through this week and we're in the 22B. I got it back from VVS. Unfortunately it didn't sell, but fortunately I'm back in it and I'm going to keep it for the summer now. I'm not going to sell it, I'm just going to use it and enjoy it. But we got a lot to go through because a lot's been happening this week. We had the Mark McCann video about exposing car thieves. I've just been to an event at Lamborghini Tunbridge Wells about just catching up with people and had some really nice feedback, met some followers of the channel as well. Really good news on the car insurance. We've been able to insure some people that couldn't get insured. I know it's not going to be for everyone, the insurance, but it's going well. I think I've had over 300 people register, which is great. Even if your insurance isn't due now, that's not a problem. But I want to just go out in this 22B, take you with me, and just chat through the week. I've literally just come back from Buell Water because we'll start with car events. Now we've got one at Buell at the end of August. I'm just confirming that, but they're super keen to have a nice event. I've spoken to quite a few people, VVS and that, who are going to support us on that day, and that's going to be a nice event, that one. Hever was down at Hever. We're all on track for Hever. That's no problem at all. That's going well. We've got a Cars and Coffee coming up. I just wanted to do something around the CTR Vantage. So earlier in the week, I gave the car to JM on car. Actually, the week before, gave it to Jay. Went up and saw him Tuesday. Had a chat with him about the car. What do you think? The suspension and that, the rear spoiler. I just wanted to have some feedback before he does the video. And I went and done that, and it went really well. Actually, I had a good chat with him. Gave him one of our pedals, for the heel and toe, which he really liked. And I think it's going to be an interesting video, that one. I think it's going to come out in a week or so. But also a lot of the feedback's being, Richard, you've got to drive it. You've got to tell us what you think. And I want to do 100%. I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. It's just been so wet. Like today, it's sunny, but I know there's rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and tomorrow, Sunday. So I'm like, got to get out now. I wanted to actually get out in the competition car as well. That's going fine, but I've got to get the Android app done and completed and get the website done. But more people are buying tickets. You can buy it on the app. So what's this 22B like? Because I'm jumping in between a lot of cars. Well, it went down very well at the Lamborghini event today. Obviously it's Lamborghini Sevenoaks and we take a Subaru, but we parked it next to a GT3 RS. A lot of people really like this car, and they understand that these are appreciating assets. They've gone up a huge amount, but also it's very difficult to understand the value because it's a Subaru. If you ask my wife, she would say this is probably about £10,000, which is good because that's what I can tell her I paid for it, which I didn't. But that's how it looks. It doesn't look a £250,000 car, and obviously the low mileage one even more. But just out on the road, there's quite a lot of traffic here. Just get round a few people. The suspension's very good. It's probably a bit firmer than the Vantage. The benefit with Subaru is that you just go anywhere. This is a very bumpy bit of road. I'm not sure how it'll come out because the phone will probably be a bit jumpy, but it's very compliant, but it's quite stiff. We get on the Bayham Road here because it's a bit smoother, but it feels special. And I wasn't sure because I haven't driven it for a while, and it's very short geared, but it makes you feel good, and it's deceptively fast. I can see why I crashed one and why people did crash one. Prince Nazimi crashed into a phone box, if I remember, and that one recently sold actually a few months ago. But it's a great place to be. I love it. I really like the Subaru. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. The thing is with these, it's all about your era. If this, a lot of people will like Mark 1 Escorts. They will like different types of cars because that was their era. But I still feel the Escort Cosworth 22B, Mitsubishi, Colin McRae, Tommy Mackinnon, Carlos Sainz, to me that era will probably never be repeated, and we won't have these type of characters again. And I was thinking about that on the way here, that if you were looking at cars, like I recently sold the Skyline, you probably saw that on Collecting Cars. It didn't quite have a place with me. I thought I liked the Skyline and I liked it to drive. It was, there's nothing wrong with the car, but where does it sit? And I was thinking, who's the driver of a Skyline that I know? know one. How do I know the Skyline? Well, obviously Gran Turismo, a lot of different games have the Skyline, and you had Fast and Furious and all that. But that's fine. But who's the driver? And I mean the driver. Like Colin McRae owned one of these cars. That recently sold for £500,000. The Tommy Mackinnon, you had the Tommy Mackinnon edition. I know you had some different editions of the Skyline, but not in the same way as the Subaru, because it obviously didn't have the racing series like, you know, the RAC Rally, all these fantastic events, and the World Rally Championship, the PlayStation games, that type of thing. So yeah, so it's been quite a busy week. I've also got a call. I done a little video just about this, you know, this EV that wouldn't stop, only because it must be like just being on a roller coaster. And the guy got in touch, the owner, and I've got a video with him today. Now I'm going to put it up probably Sunday evening, so tomorrow evening hopefully. But he got in touch with me. He said, Richard, I've really enjoy your videos. I want to talk to you about it. And if you look at what's been happening, he put something on Facebook to say this car, you know, it had this problem, and he got really knocked down a lot on Facebook. People saying, oh, you know, there's nothing wrong with the cars, this is you could have had your foot under the mat, or different things. And that's sometimes the problem with social media. But we've recently found that yesterday an article come out with Craig Phillips, who was on Big Brother, who's got an I-Pace as well, and he had the same problem recently. So this is not isolated to this guy. So I'm really interested to have the call and just, you know, see what it feels like if we listen to his story. So he's pulling off a roundabout, going onto a motorway, and the car won't stop accelerating, goes to 90, 100 mile an hour. He has to run along the hard shoulder. He's talking to the police all the time about how to stop the car. Apparently you have to press neutral. I'm not going to say give any advice on it, because I'd rather he talks about it, but apparently he's knocking the neutral, he's smashing at it, going, come on, stop, and it wouldn't. And they said, you know, the light should come on, the light come on, it didn't stop. The motorway ended, he's come to a roundabout and then some red lights, and he's had to go through the red light. You can imagine what is going through this guy's mind. And then, make it worse, this is the second time it's happened to him. How would you feel? How would you feel? So you've done it once and it happens on a motorway and you have to get stopped by the police. You take it back to Jaguar and they say the car's fine. You go and it happens again. I tell you what, I'll be putting that I-Pace through the bloody dealership's window. I'd be so angry, I can't tell you. Now, from talking to the guy, he seems like quite a laid-back guy, but it'd be interesting to have that video of him, because I would be going bananas. Imagine if I'd had my daughters in the car as well, which is what happened to Craig Phillips. He said he had his whole family in the car and he couldn't stop the car, couldn't brake. Now, I'm not going to isolate this and say this is an EV problem, because it's not. It's just, you know, I said about 355's throttle used to jam. You know, these things have happened before and will always probably happen. There's always electronics on cars. But obviously for him to feel like people were saying that it sort of wasn't happening, or, you know, to vilify him, I'd just like to talk to him and understand that, and understand what does it feel like to have a car that's just accelerating with no brakes on the road. It must be absolutely terrifying. And also, you know, he's done well really to avoid everything. You know, you imagine, no one spoke about that. He's had to drive for many miles with a car that won't slow down and avoid everything. And then the police have had to do their job. He's saying that he's having to whack the police car on the back. And the guy in the police car, they're risking their lives doing this as well. I mean, it's pretty terrifying. So that video's coming up, and I think that's going to be, you know, really interesting to have his view. Otherwise, Vantage stuff is still going on. We've been putting the lightweight battery in. I've changed the exhaust on the V12. I'm looking forward to shooting them videos for you and seeing, you know, how that is. A lot of people so far have said it still sounds quite quiet. I don't mind that. I don't want a car that sounds too loud. And Vantages in general, when you start them, they're a bit like whoa. And even being at the car show today, you know, a lot of them are going really quick, and I put some footage out actually of how loud they were, like splitting your ears loud. I think if you was a child there, you'd be like, whoa, what a noise. But I don't know if it's needed. Maybe I'm just getting old. I just think, well, who cares? Just have a nice sound. and that's why I went for the quietest exhaust on the V12, because I just want it to be a nice car. You know, you've got to remember, you're in an Aston Martin. You're potentially going to turn up at a nice hotel, go for a nice meal, and you know, I don't know if I want a big shouty car for that. And if I'm out at night driving, I quite like it to be just a nice sound, not too loud. Like this Subaru's quite a nice sound, it's not too loud. Other things are sort of trying to plan all the videos, so I've got quite a bit coming up on the car competitions. I want to bring all the Vantages down to Buell for this Cars and Coffee on the 22nd of March. That's coming up soon. That'll be like limited spaces. I've got Steve Backley coming down with me. We're just going to do like a little presentation on how the Vantage project started, what I've done, where we are now. I think it might be quite interesting for you guys to see that. Let's just come out of here. And then you get a good idea of where we're trying to go. I mean, it's been really quite a hard project, if I'm honest, because you're trying to take, you know, a car that looks fantastic but doesn't drive that well, but everyone's got an opinion. Everyone might think they drive fine, but they didn't, and we are getting there, and the in-tracks has really helped. But there's going to be little bits for owners in the future they can do. I'm sort of doing all the road testing development, and I love that. I want to go out driving as much as I can. So yeah, it's a lovely day. I don't know why I've still got a hat on. I'm hot in here now. But yeah, out in the 22B again. I'm enjoying that. Hopefully you enjoy your Sunday. We're trying to get this this Zoom video. I've got to film it in about an hour and a half with this guy. I think that'd just be quite interesting, and I have detailed quite a lot of points that I'd just like to ask him, and how that feeling is of that happening to you, and also if it did happen to you, what do you need to do? I mean, he's saying he phoned the police straight away. Great, but say your phone's down in the thing or not connected to Bluetooth, there's quite a lot of answers there. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy these videos. I hope you're looking forward to the next one, and I'll get this Zoom done and then we'll put it up. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.